Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Julian here. Today we are talking to AJ Daitka. So excited to have him here. He is on day 100 of the raw food diet. So he's been eating nothing but living raw foods for 100 days. So it's an honor to have you on your 100th day. How are you, AJ?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for having me, Julian. It's so cool to be here.
Yeah, so happy to have you here. So I'm just wondering what inspired you to do this 100 days?
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. So I've been 90% raw fruits and vegetables the last 2 or 3 years, with some times in between of either kind of just going back and experimenting with like a whole food plant-based diet and stuff, or just falling off completely and eating nothing but junk.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really happen anymore. The second part. In the wintertime, I actually had a meal of potatoes after I think like 126 days on fruits and vegetables. And when I ate it, I'm like, okay, it didn't taste good. I didn't feel good. I felt dehydrated. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this. But then after an hour or two, I don't know if it was the calories or something, I felt like all of this confidence.
Hmm.
And I felt like, I was like more flirty with attractive women and all stuff. So I was like, man, maybe I should keep eating potatoes. So I did like 100 days on mostly like potatoes, eating like up to 10 pounds a day. But I was just noticing my system getting worse and worse, like my digestion, my nerves, my sleep.
Yeah.
So when I made the commitment and I literally wrote up a declaration, I was like, minimum 5 years. I made it real short because I'd been putting it off for a while. I was like, minimum 5 years, going to eat raw fruits and vegetables. So it doesn't just become, oh, I feel better. Now let me experiment again. It's like, no, keep doing what got you there. And then in 5 years, you could decide if you want to do it again or you want to keep
Yeah.
doing it or you want to change it. But then, yeah, so this time around, I'm fully committed to no matter how good I feel to actually just keep progressing.
Yeah. What a great commitment. And that's so random and funny about the potatoes. That little story there. I
Yes.
love it.
And it was so cheap. I
You
was
know what?
saving so much money.
I love the taste of potatoes. I love like yams or potatoes, but they just make
Mhm.
me feel so tired. If I have any
Yeah.
cooked food, I feel like I need so much water and so tired, like a little hangover almost, you know?
And what it was for me too is once I have those more dense foods, I
Mm.
don't care about having green juice. I don't care to have the smoothies and the fruit all day. All I want is I wake up and I want to have more cooked food. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me to do that like balanced approach.
Yeah. So has it been easy? Like, have there been hard moments or was it an easy transition to all raw for you?
No, not at all. Actually, the first, I would say, month, it was really hard with constipation. So with the
Wow.
potatoes, I was still having at least one large movement a day. But as soon as I switched over, I think it was a lot of like the residues and buildup of the starches and stuff.
Mm.
But once I put that cleaner food in, I think my body started to like get kind of clogged up lymphatic. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
Yeah.
almost like the residues of the potatoes now that I'm just putting clean food in was being a burden and blocking up what was going on. So I actually had to do a lot of enemas in the transition.
Enemas are great. I love enemas. Have you done colonics? Do you do colonics or no?
Yeah, I've done I think I've done like 5 or 6 colonics,
Yeah.
but I had a lot of experience using enemas back when I was really messed up. So
Yeah.
it was pretty easy for me to do. I mean,
Yeah.
it can get time consuming or a bit frustrating if you're in a time crunch because you're trying to
Yeah.
relax. But
Yeah.
yeah, after that month, my bowels just started working really good. Right now, they're working awesome.
Yeah.
And the other transition was I was very moody for sure, super agitated.
Yeah.
Going from eating a bunch more calories and just something that's easier to do, and now making like fresh juices and all kinds of more shopping more. So overwhelmed and a little more irritated for sure in the transition.
Yeah. And your gut bacteria is changing too, which might be part of that, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, like, what I know for me, when I transitioned to all raw, I didn't have any detox symptoms. If I juice cleanse, I get like emotional detox sometimes, but I was fortunate in that regard. Like, did you have many detox symptoms, you feel like?
I would say the emotion for
Yeah.
sure, and I noticed the bowels. Um, some fight or flight, some chronic urination, especially in the beginning.
Hmm.
Things just balancing out a little bit, adjusting, some
Hmm.
bloating. But actually being able to do that 100 days on potatoes, it was a real testament to how far I've come because back when 2 years ago, when I was really sick, I couldn't even eat a meal of fruit without feeling like I couldn't handle it digestively.
Wow.
Being
Interesting.
bloated, gas, constipation, and then I went from to being able to eat potatoes 3 times a day up to 10 pounds,
Yeah.
flat stomach and everything. So I think it's a testament to how much this diet can lead you to handle even things that aren't beneficial. It's like it really helps you get stronger.
Yeah, and it really changes as you go raw. I mean, you might experience a lot of bloating at first, and I think that discourages a lot of people, and they won't continue on. They'll just think this isn't working for me, but your body has to change, right? And then once it does, it's well worth like experiencing all those negative things.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that if people can, if they're doing it in a sustainable way,
Yeah,
that's reasonable, then
yeah,
I think that some of those ups and downs are common. A little bit of loose stools or a little bit of gas or different things.
yeah,
But do people do get worried about it? I actually have clients who worry about it, but then after day 7 or 8 of including some habits that are really beneficial for removing some waste or detoxing, then their bowels work better than ever, or they have more energy.
exactly. That's the thing. So I know people love to hear what raw vegans eat in a day. So what's a sample of like how's your diet been looking? What are you eating today?
Yeah, sure. So actually, I'll break it up into 30-day segments over the last 100 days because it was really straightforward. The first 30 days, I did like a Lou Corona paradigm style of eating, which was lemon ginger blast. I do water each time before a meal, and I did lemon ginger blast for breakfast,
Hmm.
a gorilla milk for lunch, which is more like thick and helps to put on weight and different things, really nutritious, and then a salad with like a paradigm hummus or some kind of like fatty salad. So it was really lower sugar and
Yeah,
focused on the greens and some more of the fats, but easy to digest.
yeah,
Then the second 60 days, because that was pretty overwhelming. I'm really glad I did it. Now I've experienced it and it's not as scary to go buy the coconuts and make it all happen. Because sometimes it's overwhelming to make all this stuff. Like these recipes are not only expensive, but take a lot of effort.
mhm,
So I transitioned back into kind of like whatever green juice I wanted to make or whatever smoothie I wanted to make and doing fruit meals for dinner or salads, just kind of playing with it, listening a little bit because I was pretty rigid the first 30 days.
mhm,
And then the last 30 days, it's been actually, it's been, I've been using supercells daily. And then which is these supplements that I use. Then I've also been doing green juice or a green smoothie. And I've been doing actually the smoothie twice a day. I'm trying to put on a little more muscle since having the consult with
mhm.
Shane Sterling. So I've been having about 25 to 3,000 calories, and I've been doing the smoothie twice a day. The smoothie's about 1,000 calories. And then the dinner, I've been doing like raw olive oil, olives, avocado, hemp seeds, greens, sprouts.
Nice.
Yeah. So pretty dense stuff.
Yeah, it sounds good. Your food, I mean, I follow you on Instagram. Your food all looks amazing. And I have to say, like, I can see such a transformation with you. It seems like you're accomplishing so much on this 100 days. Like you've started a podcast, which is so amazing. I'll link it below for you guys.
Thank you.
The Hungry People podcast. So do you feel like you're creating more and doing more on this 100 days? Like the food is lifting your vibration. I mean, that's what it does for me. Do you feel like it's transforming your life in a way?
Yeah, I think even the accountability of having some kind of standard is really beneficial for me to be motivated and organized. For example, if I'm just doing whatever, because a lot of people are like, just figure it out or do whatever and do what feels right. When I'm aimless like that, I don't feel motivated to enhance other areas of my life either.
Mm-hmm.
100 days is a real milestone because it's not like in 100 days you solve all your challenges or problems, but
Mm-hmm.
now you have a real foundation. Now you're over the ups and downs, you're over the struggles, you're over the eat like restricting, binge eating, or figuring it out. It's like, okay, this is just normal to me now. It's easy. And now I can really focus since my sleep is getting better and my energy is getting better. I can focus on the things that really matter. Like the food is the start. The food is like what you do so you can live the life you want to live. It's not all about the food. So now that I have a lot of experience and uh, my life feels a lot more organized, I'm like, okay, like it's time to live some of these dreams that I've wanted to be doing for a while.
Yeah, that's amazing. And okay, so talking about not all about the food, I have to bring this up. I love it. You've been posting a lot about how you have this box to lock your phone every night.
Right.
So you take a break and is this a new thing on the market? I've never seen this. This is awesome. Yeah, so there it is. So AJ always has this in his Instagram stories. So he locks up his phone at night so that he has no access. He can't go on Instagram, talk to people, talk to women, whatever is going on there. So do you like it? You loving it?
Yeah. So for me, my big challenge has always been my nerves and my anxiety. So it's very easy for me to get in a state where it's like in the past, like drinking lots of caffeine or doing things that are overstimulating,
Mhm.
overtraining, getting into arguments, just getting really flustered. Like these things were common because my nerves were very sensitive. So if someone's behind me beeping the horn, I feel like it affects me more than it would affect most people. I'd be agitated the next hour or two. So it's very important that I get good rest, because if I have good rest, I'm much more of a stable, decent human being on all levels. And my life is just overall better. And since starting the podcast and since getting more into the coaching, I find myself on my phone more than ever, which has its pros and its cons. But I noticed I was up till sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning having
Mhm.
discussions. And the more passionate it is, the more, awake I'll be even after I put my phone down.
Mhm.
So I started this 10-week habit building protocol where each week I add in a new habit to see. I do my best to do it for 7 days, and I can either keep it or leave it afterwards. I think it's a great way to try things that I've been meaning to do without saying like I have to do this forever.
Mhm.
So on week 4, I heard it on a podcast. I think just I know it sounds ridiculous, but people like this was their ad. Sounds ridiculous, but lock up your phone. You'll have a lot more peace of mind. And I'm like, I know I need help. I need something.
Ah,
I could put it away. I could put it in my car, but what if I don't feel like going to my car? What if it's cold out? So I was like, I have an abundance definitely mindset now where I'm like, I'll spend whatever it takes to get the food I need, to get the education I need, to get the place I want to live.
yeah.
And so I ordered, it was $40. I don't sell these, so people could just, put it in their car if that actually works for them. But I bought it. You can put it in, you can lock it for how many hours you want. So let's say you want to take a break for an hour, you put it in there. Okay, now you can't get to it.
Yeah.
In an emergency, you can get to it. But what I've been doing is by 7:30 p.m., unless I'm working, I have it, I put it in there, I put it in there for at least 10 hours. And by 9 o'clock, I just want to go to bed because I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
So it works really well.
Have there been any emergencies for you where you've had to unlock it? Have you used it?
Uh, so no, I have the instructions on how to get into it in case I do. It's in the box,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing's really come up.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I
So
love it.
I want to ask too, with your raw transformation. I know for me, like going raw has got rid of like any depression, anxiety. Has it helped you with that? Has it done that for you?
It depends. I mean, there's been times where I was pushing it so hard, or I was detoxing a lot, or restricting too much, and my anxiety there was much worse. But I
Mhm.
have an interesting story. So I did a 38-day grape juice fast with lemon. And prior, I had always been deathly nervous for things like roller coasters or flying or anything with heights. I just
Mhm.
was not a heights person. So I had flown maybe 2 or 3 times prior, and I'd always been so nervous on the flight, before the flight. And when I landed, I would kiss the ground like, yes, I'm still alive. So I broke the fast that day that I was about to fly from Detroit back to New Jersey.
Mhm.
And I expected the entire time to have the worst nerves in the world, but I wasn't nervous even a little bit the
Wow.
entire time. I was completely fine. So to me, that shows that it's not just that I have a sensitivity to heights, it's that the nervous system has really been thrashed and overworked. And if you can actually tame it and let it rest and calm down, a lot of things we think bother us isn't just mental, it really is physical.
And I swear, like our gut and the way we eat it affects us so much more, so much in our mind as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Have you noticed with raw foods, there's certain things that make you feel better, certain things make you feel worse. Like I know for me, if I have cacao, I come off it for 2 days. Like there's a high and then a low for me. There's certain things I need to stay away from. Have you found that with the raw food diet?
Yeah, so anything that has stimulation, which is like too much salt,
Hmm.
um, even a lot of people that use the processed sugars and stuff, I don't handle those well. Anything stimulating, caffeine, chocolate,
Hmm.
not for me at all, for sure. If I do, I notice if I mix too much fruits and fats, I'll notice it in my teeth. They're more sensitive. I'll notice just not feeling as well. I do transition between doing more fruit and greens, and then I'll also do more greens and fat, but I won't do them at the same time usually.
Yeah, you got to find what works for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes I'm just craving like savory and greens and fat, and then sometimes I'm like, I just want more calories, and I'm gonna get that from fruit.
It'll be good because the farmers markets are coming up soon too.
Well, yeah, but I'm also moving to Florida, which is mango season, and
Oh,
the owners of Miami Fruit told me that Florida is the mecca of mangoes.
that's so amazing.
Actually, they were in Hawaii, and they said like, I know this is very like privileged, but right now as they were in Hawaii, and they're like, right now is mango season in Florida, and we wish we were in Florida.
Yeah. When are you moving?
I actually moved May 17th out of Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go stay with Michael Patrick for a couple weeks in Pittsburgh, and then I'll be going to Tennessee for a couple weeks, and then West Palm Beach or Naples.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well,
Yeah,
that's a great adventure coming up. I'm excited for you.
yeah, 3 days away or 4 days now.
Yeah. So I want to ask you too with the raw food diet, have you had anything like for me, like my vision has been healing since I've been raw. It got rid of all my health problems. Have you noticed like any things you didn't expect on you to start like that started healing over the last 100 days or no?
Things I didn't expect. Um, I expect a lot out of the diet. I'm always like, improve this, fix this about me. I'm trying to think specifically. What was really interesting is when I came off the potatoes and I even just started drinking green juice
Yeah.
for about 3 weeks, my teeth were so sensitive. And I
Wow.
had no like cavities or anything. I just had some dental work done by a really good holistic dentist that took out the amalgam fillings and everything. But yeah, I was like, I'm not even having sugar. I'm
Mm-hmm.
having like green juice with maybe an apple in it.
Mm-hmm.
So really it was like a rougher transition than I would have expected. But anything that I didn't expect,
How has
just
your
because
weight?
I've been doing this for so long, it's kind of like some of it's has been expected.
Mm-hmm. And how has your weight been? Like, how's the weight? How's your weight changed for you?
So it's interesting. I find it really easy to maintain weight,
Mm-hmm.
but more challenging to gain it if it needs to be gained.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was day 50 that I'm 6 foot. My preferred weight is at a minimum of 150 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
When I was sick, I got down to 113. So I was
Wow.
able to gain that weight back with raw food over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on day like 45 or something, I did a 7 day grape juice fast and I lost about 9 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down to like 140 and right now I'm at 145. So I'm still looking to gain some of that weight and strength.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm doing more of the calories and going to get more into the weights now.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah, I'd like to be 165 by Woodstock Fruit Festival. So,
Yeah, and that's coming up this summer, right?
in August. Yeah.
I might go. I've never gone to it. Have you gone before?
Yeah, I went 2018 and 19, and it's going to be the best week of my life this year. I know it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you're on the right path. Like you seem so high vibe in your stories, and I feel like things are going good for you.
Yeah, thank you. I
Yeah,
feel the same about you.
thanks. And yeah, congratulations on the podcast. It's so amazing. You guys are so amazing, and I feel like there's never a boring moment. Like you're such strong, interesting personalities, and it's so interesting every moment of the podcast. You know?
Right. So me and my friend, our friend, really, Michael Patrick,
Yeah.
we started a podcast called Hungry People, and we just released episode 3 yesterday.
Yeah.
So the week 1 was the intro to who we are, how we met, and what the podcast mission is.
Yeah.
Episode 2 was my story. Episode 3 is all about him and his life. And now that that's come out, we're really going to focus on discussions of questions people really want to know,
Yeah.
and also having interviews with other people. So it's really fun. We love it. Like we
Good.
love making it. Other than when I do the outtakes in the beginning, trying to get the intro started.
No, you're the great.
Sometimes it takes like 10 or 12 tries.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's normal though. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's good when you're following your passion. I feel like you just start to attract all the right things into your life. So
And what's really cool is after we get that little bit of formal introduction out of the way, we really start vibing and we really start just having fun with it. And
yeah,
I think that you guys are really going to be able to appreciate the discussions that are coming up because they're really important.
they're really good. And you guys are really likable too. Really relatable.
A good dynamic, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I don't know if I asked you about the raw food diet. Like I know a lot of people wonder this. I might have asked you. I forget. But do you like have you had cravings? Do you think you'll be tempted to go back at all, or no? Like do you feel satisfied?
I feel super satisfied after that initial couple of weeks of feeling hangry.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just feel like it's just I feel completely satisfied and normal, and I don't even think about it, the cooked food. Actually, when I think about it, I really don't want it.
Hmm.
And it's not that I think it's bad. I just think like I know I feel better on fresh food.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
had I actually had a really interesting thing as well when I went to Hawaii. At that time, I had been raw like 9 months, or no, I'm sorry, 90 days or something. I had a lot of long stretches of being raw. But I
Hmm.
went to Hawaii and I'm getting lots of sun, right? And it just feels good. The air is amazing there. Changed my life just experiencing air quality like that. And then I got really depressed because something happened with my housing situation. So I went and was like, screw it, I'm gonna go eat. I had some of the Hawaiian purple sweet potatoes, which are like candy. They're amazing.
They're so
And
good.
they're obviously healthy, but when I ate them, within an hour, my skin just started turning really red and burned. And it's like my body, it was showing that the raw foods were keeping the sunburn at bay. And then as soon as I eat some salt and cooked food, it's like, ooh, that was painful for a little while.
It's so interesting, right? Yeah. Now that you say that, I remember before I was raw, I used to be like allergic to the sun. I used to have major issues with the sun, and I never have that now. Yeah, it's
Right.
so interesting.
It's really cool too that like I used to, even in 70 degrees Fahrenheit, I couldn't handle any sun. It was painful on my skin. And as I grow healthier and stronger, that's not an issue anymore.
Hmm. Wow. So, what would you say to somebody who's thinking about going raw? And like I think a lot of people think you'll be so hungry, but I think it's important to realize you do get past that. Like AJ said, and I got past that too. I feel so satisfied. But what would you say to somebody who's thinking about going raw?
I would usually what I'll do for people that are interested is to change a meal, change a breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And for me, the green juice has been the biggest life changer. So let's say you even just eat the exact same breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you add in a green juice and you get to experience what real healthy, vibrant nutrition is. I think that's really enough to start a cascade of positive effects. Some of the clients that I work with, we really work slow at implementing good habits. So it's like, okay, like week 2, we're going to add 3 pieces of fruit in a day. Week 3, we're going to make a smoothie, or we just work in small little habits. But once they accomplish that first week, they're eager to try more things. But because they're not doing it all at once, they don't feel overwhelmed.
Hmm. And yeah,
But
for me
but
too.
I'm an all in kind of person. I'm like, just go.
Yeah, me too. The days I've been drinking green juice lately too, and the days I have green juice, like you just feel so much more alive. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm glad I took the time to make this because it just feeds your cells and gives you just this high in life like you didn't have before.
You can even tell that I didn't have my green juice today because I always look whiter. Like
Yeah,
my skin looks whiter, but if I drink it, it's almost like I get a tan. I don't
yeah,
know if it's the blood flow or what, but it's a huge difference.
yeah, yeah. What's your favorite food?
My favorite, my favorite food, I would say my favorite fruit is probably, if they're actually really high quality, bananas, but mangoes are probably up there as well. I
Yeah,
love durian. I love a lot of different stuff.
yeah,
I love avocados are amazing.
yeah.
Mame sapote, sapodillo. I think there's an apple that tastes like coconut custard. I want to try that.
Yeah, I've never tried that. I love papaya.
Papaya is amazing. So at Woodstock Fruit Festival, they have unlimited Martha's Best papayas,
Oh
which
wow.
are really good, and they're usually like $3 for a little one, and you can have unlimited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, it's been so great talking to you today. Is there anything else you want to say before we end things off?
yeah. I want to thank you for having me on. This is so
Yeah,
fun.
it's been so great
Um,
to have you on.
I think that a lot of people are overwhelmed and they think health is really hard, and it can be. Sometimes it can be complicated. I don't mean to make it sound everything is so simple, but sometimes the answers are so easy to implement, and the only reason we don't do it is because we think it's going to be really challenging. So I think it's great to keep an open mind and realize that implementing something small, like locking your phone up at night or eat an apple before each meal, you're going to notice improvements in your digestion, improvements in your nerves. You're going to overall just feel more calm, satisfied, happy. And if you're ever struggling with some ideas, reach out to people like Jillian or I just to get started. Because once you start moving forward, you don't have to be at 100% to appreciate the gains you've made. Maybe you get 3% better, but now you're eager to get 6 and 7 and 9. And it's only more enjoyable as you go. It's not like it gets harder, it gets easier and easier. So yeah, just realize that the problems you have, someone else has probably had them. And it's not that, and they can probably help you solve those problems pretty easily.
I feel like you're so inspiring.
I
And
feel the same way.
you do coaching as well, right? So where can people find you if they want to consult you for coaching?
Yeah, you can. I don't know if you'll be able to link my Instagram page, but
Yeah.
that's usually the easiest place. AJ Dybka, Dybka on Instagram. And yeah, just anytime, share voice memos or messages. I'm always on there, always happy to talk. I think I'm in like 7 different support groups, Raw Vegan Heroes
Yeah.
with Jillian. Dan McDonald, I host his WhatsApp Patreon support group. So involved in a lot of different things. And I'm always happy and eager to talk to anyone who's interested in bettering themselves.
Yeah. No, you're great. Well, this has been great. So hope to have you on in the future. And I hope you have a great day. What are your plans for the day?
I actually got work.
Oh yeah, me too.
I only have 3 days left at my current job, and I'll
Yeah.
be moving on to better things. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
thanks for having me on. This was really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, this has been great. Okay, thanks so much, AJ. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'll probably talk to you today later.
Yeah.
See you.
Talk to you later. Okay,
Bye.
bye.